with marketing excellence. Welcome to a night where the past meets the present and the future comes to life. For 4 decades, the Silver Apples have been given an award. In a race, a recognition of those who shaped our industry, trailblazers who dedicated 25 years in order to make marketing what it is today. From the stars we honor tonight to the unforgettable legends of the past, each has left their mark on our field. Together, they've inspired innovation, defined trends, and getting back to the next generation of marketers. Thank you for stepping backstage with us tonight. This is where the magic truly happens. It's where creativity meets execution, and where the iconic takes shape. Together, we continue the legacy of excellence in marketing.
It's the 40th Silver Apples. The 40th Silver Apples. None of us are middle-aged. I want to welcome everyone to the night that remains shirtless. In all my years working in marketing in New York, the Silver Apples has always, and I mean always, been some important, wonderful, incredible people are being honored and celebrated. This night is no different. People we are honoring tonight are people who care about data and results in marketing. I love that. I call these people are fluent in this stuff. This is how advertising and marketing advances. And that alone is worth being celebrated. 40 years ago, when I was young, the #1 song was When Doves Cry. Tonight, instead, no one is crying, and we're just in awe and greatness. What happened 40 years ago is happening tonight. We gather to celebrate this excellence and recognize some outstanding achievement which you'll hear. And to honor whose dedication and passion have set new standards in our field, I want you guys to prepare to get inspired. We have 11 people tonight who will receive a special recognition out of the Silver Apple. And before we get things going, I do have to acknowledge some important contributors who made possible this evening. And we'll first start with our lovely sponsors. By the way, you can look at our sponsor slide. Venable sponsors DJ. So let's hear from the Venable one. Anyway, we also have our club sponsors, and you can see them here. Next slide, please. And of these guys, I want you to pay attention to McVicker and Heckenbottom, who are responsible for printing the programs you had this evening, as well as Cheryl Kisler, the Turner Director, who is our graphic designer. So let's thank them. And I also want to give a shout out to all these companies who have sponsored students this evening. Can I ask all the students in the room to take a stand? Somebody will have their resumes. I don't tell you who, but somebody. But we're up to a special part of the evening about why the Marketing Club exists. And that is to help advance marketing education while providing networking and education opportunities for professionals in our field. This year we're announcing our 2024 scholarship recipients, and these were selected by their respective universities. From Baruch College, we have City University of New York. We have Nikita Jane, who's pursuing her MS in Marketing Analytics, and Nikita is with us tonight. From Fordham University, we acknowledge Roxanne Fernandez, who's prepping for her midterms tonight as a sophomore. So she can't be with us. But I'm told she's a very, very driven marketing student in data. And then from third, we have from Pace University, we're thrilled to have with us Rosemary Gleason, who manages the student employment ad agency, the IDM Lab at Pace. So Rosemary and Nikita are in the room. Can you please stand? We want to acknowledge you both. And then I also want to thank my co-moderators this evening for our honorary panels, Ken Grazer and Alicia Weedham, who each, we're excited to have them both with us tonight. And I don't know if you guys are tracking our YouTube channel, but they have done a series of interviews with each of our honorees. I have learned something from each and every one of them, and I encourage you to take a closer look on our YouTube channel when you get a chance. I also want to thank our Silver Awards Committee. Let me personally thank our Executive Director, Barry Blumenfield, for all his backstage work to make this great event happen. And unsolicited, I've gotten lots of love about Alicia and Olivia's team at Summer Friday, who have done all the top-notch branding, marketing, execution for this year. This data can't be done without the entire committee's collective energy and vision. And then I want to also ask two groups to stand up. One is our current MCNY board. Can everyone please stand? Who's on the board of the marketing committee? We're a volunteer organization, and these people step up in many, many ways to help us run our events, to take on big projects, recruit speakers, mentor students, and much, much more. I just want to thank everyone from helping to make this board so active and engaged. I also want to acknowledge in the room, we have some former club presidents who are here tonight. Cindy, Ruth, Peg, Pam, Alicia, Ginger. Continuing to be part of our community. So, when we look at the caliber of the honorees this year, the criteria for the Silver Apples is 25 years in marketing, notable professional success, and a record of giving back to the industry and our marketing community. So I'm called up Mal Dunn, who was part of the original Silver Apples organizers, said this quote, and I believe it's a powerful way to convey the richness of the nominations we received this year, and certainly that of our honorees. So let's take a moment also to have all the previous Silver Apple honorees in the room stand, because you are our beacons. You are the people who made this. I think I had quite a few. So the other thing I'd like you to do is open up your phones a second and make sure that you have, get this QR code on your phone to open an account on our auction site and start making some bids. There's a QR code, also I think the QR codes are on the table, but it's certainly up there on the screen. We have some fantastic items to give away to the highest bidder, and you can also make a donation to the club and our marketing and scholarship programs on this particular app, so I encourage you to do that. We're going to keep bids open until 9:55 tonight. We're also going to have a live auction, so stay tuned for that. And know that a lot of the proceeds from our auction will go to our scholarship and student programs. So I just want to thank you in advance for helping to make that happen. So now as I introduce our very special MC of the evening, let me tell you that 10 years ago, the top song of the year was Pharrell's Happy. How perfect to introduce my fellow board member and probably the all-around happiest guy you'll ever meet, Vincent Giancarlo. Let's kick off this event. As only Vince can do.
So good to be back here hosting the 40th annual Silver Apple Awards. We did it! Give yourself a round of applause! This is the biggest award show we've had in 6 years. 6 years we're here. And welcome to beautiful Times Square. Don't you just love Times Square this time? It's amazing. I love it. I get off the train. The beautiful smell of marijuana. Two Elmos fighting each other. Mickey Mouse ODing. It's amazing. It's a beautiful time of year, and I love it. You know, here's the thing. This is my 5th time hosting the awards. 5th time. And not one photo of me in that video chat, 40 years. Not one. I do this for free. I thought I was getting like the 5-timers jacket. Like SNL. Nothing. But it is so good to be here. Here's how long I've been in this industry. I'm a board member, I volunteer. Now my friends are getting the Silver Apple Award. My friends are getting the Silver Apple Award. I'm like, this can't be. We're the young ones. I still consider myself young. But look back 40 years, right? It's been 40 years. 40 years ago, AJ Gupta, 4 months old. All the hotel people, he's in his 20s, as I'm sure he's done already. My good buddy, Bill McGowan, had hair. That's how far back he goes. That is how far back we go. The Green Apple Award winner was negative 23 years old. Paul McDonough was 37 years old, 40 years ago. You look amazing, Paul, 77. I know, it doesn't crack, you're right, the thing is right. Thank you, I love it, it's my buddies. Those are my friends, and now I have a lot of new friends as part of the organization, and it's been great. We're going to take a look back. Okay, there's a photo of me in my Holy Communion outfit, okay. This is me 40 years ago. I was 6 years old, about to receive the body of Christ. Remember when people believed in that crap? I know. How's everybody's week been? Good? Good week? Even the Hard Rock Cafe is like, are you sure you want to have it on the 7th? It's been a crazy week. All right, we talked about politics, religion, that's it. Now let's focus on, that was me 40 years ago. And at that time, a lot of little kids are asked what they want to be when they grow up. Some kids want to be firefighters. Some kids want to be police officers. Not me. I said, I want to sell data. That's what I wanted. Every kid's dream, right? That was everyone's dream in here, right? I want to sell data. Anything else? I'd like to do stand-up comedy. As a living, 4 times a week. And also I want to MC shows. For money? No, I'm going to do it for free every single year. That little kid was on to something. But because we have 40 years, we're going to take a look back at this industry. I love this industry. I've been in this industry for 23 years, so in 2 years, maybe the youngest Silver Apple Award, whatever do you think? Anyway, that's okay. So 40 years ago, we're going to take a look back. We prepared some slides as a group. Some of them haven't even seen yet, but we're going to take a look back. 40 years of the marketing industry. Let's take a look. That's like 4,000 years. No, all right, that's a carrier pigeon. That's the earliest form of marketing. Like, some of you were there for that. I'm looking at this table 3. And looking at table 3, mainly you, sir. Good to see you. I love you. The carrier pigeon, that was something. Who remembers this? No, let's get a little more serious about our industry, the direct marketing industry, the marketing industry. Who remembers Yellow Pages? All the students are like, what the hell is that? Yeah, if you wanted to look up something, you had to look up in the phone book. There was a time where I had to get a girl's phone number on a piece of paper. You're like, what's paper? Yeah, you had to get a girl's number, and you got so happy when I was a single man. Let me preface that. And when you got a girl's number on a piece of paper, you're like, look at me, boom, got her number. But you had to go home and use a phone with a cord. And you had to see if that actually worked. You had no idea if the girl gave you the wrong number or not, right? You got so excited. You were like, yeah, what is it? Let me speak to Christina, Joey's Pizza. Oh, she got me, Joey. But also direct mail. Give it up for direct mail, right? Remember direct mail? I like direct mail. I like getting direct mail. I feel so special when I get a piece of direct mail because they have my name. It's the right catalog, but usually under it it's Vincent Benefessa or current resident. Literally anyone else. We don't care if they have a heartbeat. Literally anyone else, we don't care. But let's take a look at more. The Sears Wish Book. Who remembers the Sears Wish Book? You remember the Sears Wish Book? You don't. How old are you? You're 22. She's like, I have no idea. 22-year-olds clap and like a PS5 shows up. They have no idea. This was like, you got this in the mail. It weighed 34 pounds. And you told your parents what you wanted for Santa. Catalogs, where are my catalog mailers at? There was a time when you wanted to order clothing. This is for the students. There was a time when you wanted to order clothing, you had to fill out a form, and you had to write the number and the color, and in 2 years, you received that article of clothing. Let's take a look at more. So this is a photo that I put in because this reminds me of list brokers. Thank you. This reminds me of a time when I first started. They're not here, so let's talk about it. I don't care. What are they going to do? Not pay me? Anyway, when I started in this industry, it was 2001. I started at Direct Media. Anyone remember Direct Media? It's great Direct Media. I had so much fun there. I was in list management, and then there was also list brokers. List brokers sat upstairs, list managers sat downstairs. The majority of list brokers were the meanest people in the world. Not you, Marianne, I love you. David Godrow's here, I love David Godrow, Sarah Tacos. All the other ones are not here. You know where the mean ones are? Unemployed. So, but I remember brokers just yelling at me. And here's a little secret that I like to share with a lot of people. And students, you see these students sitting at your table? Be nice to them. Because what happens is, if you are mean to those people when you start, one day they're going to be your boss. I cannot tell you how many list brokers from a particular company, which I already said, call me up or email me now for a job. No positions available. But I saw 7 on your website. Nope, that's a glitch. You just fired our website developer because of that. Let's take a look at more. Cartridge, who remembers cartridges? Direct mail, right? And then the internet happened. Remember? Don't laugh. I've seen some of you guys dance. It's just like this. I'm looking at you, Paul. Remember this? Let's keep going. Email started. Who loves email here? Email, give it up. This is something special to me. The DMA. Who remembers the DMA? Leave it at the side for a second. Leave it at the side. No. The DMA was an honor to go to. It was so much fun. It was amazing. I met so many of you there. It was amazing. It was so amazing. And then they decided to change. And then it was and gone. But the ANA's taking over. The ANA's doing their thing. Let them hear it. I haven't been to one of their events, but I'll get there. Yeah, if you need a host. Anyway, some of our terms in our industry: CPM, ABM, FML. Let's keep going. Now, this starts where we are now. Where is our industry now? Some great, some not so great, right? Television, connected TV. Next slide. Influencers. Well, wait, you're going a little too fast there. Thank you. Yeah. This is where we are now. She made $12 million this year. I blame the millennials. Anyway, and where's our industry going? The 50th Silver Apple Awards, AI, this is going to be your host. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing event tonight for you. Make some noise for these honorees. We are going to move this along. What we're doing tonight, Chet's going to come back up. We're going to have a panel, 2 different panels. We're going to be in the crowd. I'm going to be in the crowd with you, so be careful what you say, because I will expose you. But we're going to have fun. Listen, I love doing this. My closest friends in the world are here. I MC 10 shows a year because of my friend Paul McDonough, who took a chance on me in 2014 at the DMA. And despite this one being free, I do make a lot of money at this, Paul, so thank you. I should, give you a cup, but I won't, but I love you. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Back to Chet. Thank you.
Events 4 nights a week, I'm there. So, I mentioned 11 individuals, and I'm sure you've seen who they are, but here we are. We're going to hear from them tonight. So, thank you. Let's give every one of our Silver Apple honorees this year. We also have 3 additional awards: our Apples of Excellence and our Green Apple. And that's, Here we go. You just do it. So let's get started with our wonderful Green Apple Award presentation. To help me in this effort, I just want to call on Jim Cabacal. And Jim, I think Vince has a mic.
Yep, we're up here. Everyone has about 90 seconds.
I need 2 minutes. I feel like I'm on stage up here, and I can't believe I have to follow Vincent. Chad, I'm going off script for a second. In our silent auction, you can actually bid on an evening with Vincent for your private corporate party. How awesome that would be. Okay, back to the show. So I'm thrilled to introduce Louis Schultz, Marketing Manager of Tuning, the 2024 Marketing Club of New York Green Apple Award recipient. This award is presented to a marketing professional with 5 to 10 years of industry experience who's demonstrated outstanding achievement and leadership in the industry. So, Lewis started out studying to be an architect, and like many of us, landed in this industry by accident after an internship at Lacoste. So, after graduating with a degree in advertising and media studies, he held a progression of larger agency positions at Havas, Mindshare, Starcom, working primarily on luxury brands such as Chanel and Moet Hennessy. He helped drive the digital marketing for these brands and develop a strategy in emerging media channels. In 2021, Lewis transitioned to the client side of the business as media manager for Tumi, the luxury luggage brand now owned by Samsonite. At Tumi, he oversees all paid advertising, including digital, influencer, affiliate, and SEO, with the goal of driving demand and growth for the brand, and integrating AI into digital targeting and content to keep the 50-year-old brand relevant and top of mind. He's also responsible for communicating marketing strategies and results to senior leadership. One recent promotion was held at the Las Vegas Grand Prix, where he created in-store promotion with British race car driver and Tumi brand ambassador Lando Norris that generated hundreds of store visits and $8 million in earned media. As you will see shortly, Lewis is smart, engaging, and personable, and dedicated to his career. I'm sure you will see continued success in his marketing roles, and I'm confident he'll be a great role model for future early career marketing and advertising professionals. Congratulations, Lewis.
It really is humbling to stand here in front of, a ton of talented, and passionate marketers. Hopefully someday I'll maybe get the silver apple. But, as Jim said, I've been at Tumi overseeing media for over 3 years now. And I must say, compared to my past experience agency side, this has definitely been one of the more gratifying roles in my entire career. We are a very lean team, but we have managed to pull off a lot of, really impactful, exciting executions that, for me have been career firsts, such as the sweepstakes, for a limited edition aluminum briefcase that was in the movie Bullet Train, as well as the in-store activation we did for Lando that Jim brought up. All of these have been firsts for me and really thrilling. So next year is our 50th anniversary as a brand, so I'm excited to share, for you all to see, what we have in store. To start with thank yous, I really do want to start with our fearless leader at Tumi, Jill Kaiserman. She's our I remember interviewing with you, Jill, and I was really inspired by your vision and dedication to the brand. And you've been really an incredible mentor to me, and I really thank you for your advice, your openness to, out of the box kind of disruptive ideas, as well as, your time, because it is an incredible commodity when you're both online as well as offline at events like these. And I'd also like to thank my family who's here with me tonight. Without you guys and your love and support, I wouldn't be here. My in-laws, Cheryl, Jonathan, Caroline. My mom and my sister who are here from Florida, so it's actually special to me that they're here tonight. My husband, Jeremy. We've been with
Silver Apple honorees. So to help me recognize the first 5 of them, let me welcome to our stage our first panel moderator, Alicia Lederman. She's Summer Friday. And she's a fellow board member, a media past president of the club, and she's head of strategy with the club. Thank you, Alicia. So let me talk to you about our first honoree. I get to handle this one, Bob, so get ready. Bob is, of course, the CEO of the Association of National Advertisers. And Bob's work atop our world of advertising and marketing is one we found as judges just rooted in leadership and stewardship, hand in hand. I think they both go together. It's no accident that ANA and its growth agenda is at the heart of all the initiatives for consumer trust and brand engagement. And this includes certainly data-driven marketing, particularly since its acquisition of Data and Marketing Association in 2018. But beyond responsible data practices, ANA is at the heart of several other initiatives: anti-fraud, gender representation, multicultural representation, advertising research, and education support, so vital to our field. Bob is at the heart of these initiatives, but we're also in his heart. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give our appreciation for Bob Leadis.
It really is a distinguished honor, and I'm very, very proud and humbled to be here to represent the ANA and this industry. You know, the opening music that brought me up here is called Staying Alive. Candidly, I think anybody that knows that when you're in a nonprofit, staying alive is kind of job number one. So we're thrilled about that. You know, as I was thinking about tonight and thinking about the opening remarks, I was trying to think through what it takes not only to be honored like I've been honored tonight, but to also think about the 11 honorees and think about what the commonality is of why they're all being honored. And considering that we grew up in the marketing industry with all the changes, you know, Vince talked about the DNA, and we're now in data marketing because the ANA is now aligned with the DNA. But the focus is on personal traits that kind of get us to be successful. And you know, we all know that it's about sweat and tears and really struggle. And so there are kind of two things that really come to mind as I think about all 11 honorees. The first is the desire to make a difference. We all desire to make a difference. We have to be unique in what we try to do. We need to be able to separate ourselves from others. And you all are very, very successful in what it is you do. And to me, that is one of the most common elements among us, is the drive and the determination to make a difference. Whether we succeed or we don't, it's the ability to make that determination one of the core ingredients for helping us to be successful. The second thing that I wanted to allude to is be brave. You know, when I was growing up, my mom taught me one important lesson. She said, the only thing you should worry about in life is your health. Everything else is pure gravy. So if we take that attitude, we think about the kinds of decisions that we need to make and the ability to lean forward and to be brave, to make courageous decisions, not only to stay alive, but to ensure that we generate the success that we as marketers need in order to be relevant to our consumers, to our shareholders, and to all those that rely on us for their success. And I looked to my team, table 3 here, my colleagues at the ANA, because they have been great with me through the 30 years I've been with the ANA. And our success really rests on their shoulders, and I want to thank them for being able to do that. So to all, thank you for this wonderful honor. I really appreciate it.
All right, next. We have somebody that I think some of you know very well. Paul McDonald. For those who don't know, Paul's one of our industry's, I will say, the go-to meeting professional in our field.
Sure, I used to work at motels back in the day.
His career spanned 2.5 decades in conference planning, and Paul has produced literally dozens of conferences in our field and field adjacent. His current assignments at American Express Global Business Travel, and he has clients that include Nike, Disney, Coca-Cola, among others. But he's also a long-time conference programming director-producer at DMA. So his depth and breadth of knowledge of leaders in our field is really widely unmatched. Whenever I need a suggestion, he knows somebody to go. And lest he goes on ad nauseum about this, I'll save him the trouble. His beloved Miami Hurricanes is undefeated, and we have this season. So let's give Paul a very, very warm celebration.
Just a couple of quick remarks. I know Chet and Alicia told me I have 90 seconds. Good luck. Good luck. Anyway, first let me thank the Marketing Club of New York board for this tremendous honor. I'm humble, I'm grateful, and I'm most appreciative of this recognition. Next, to my DAA family at table 1, table 7, I would not be here if it was not for you guys. And when you called me and told me that this was happening, I was maybe stunned for a good few hours. I was like, wait, me? No. When you say lifetime, what does that mean? As Robert Frost said, I've got miles to go before I sleep, miles to go before I sleep. But to my friends and family, some of you are here, to the people who have advised and consulted me, Bruce, Meg, Ruth, and Lou, and Chet, of course, Alicia, and so many of you that are here tonight. I learned and I grew up in this industry, in this beautiful mosaic called marketing. And I will forever be grateful for what you guys have taught me, from those program advisory meetings that we used to do to pull together those amazing trade shows that we did at the DMA and other conferences, and you continue to inspire me and continue to mentor me. To all of the colleagues that I work with now in the travel space, from the marketing space to the travel space, I thank you for this recognition, for this honor, and I will always be very, very grateful and be very available to each and every single one of you. So thank you.
Hey, for our next honoree, I want to call on Bill Oakes from Epsilon. Think, Bill, where are you in this? You got the mic?
Yeah,
too emotional here to be able to give this great award to a friend, someone who I call a brother. And many of us here know Bill McGowan. He is a great person. Starting out good old the services days, now done Equifax. Epsilon, all the way to our time together at MCNY. Bill is the kind of person who is there for you all the time. Many of us here in this room love him and know him as a friend and a brother. And I could talk for hours about Bill and his accomplishments, but he is the epitome of somebody who loves this industry, cares about his clients, cares about his friends, and is a mentor to many of us. I've known Bill for 20 years. We had a little small group called the Thousandaires. Right? I'm the only one who's old and who is still in the Thousandaires group. Everyone else is in the Billionaires group. So, you know, we have Joe Frick next to me, and people that you guys might know, you know, Sickler, who's not here, you know, there's just so many people, Kenny Altman, Alan Zamchak, Keith Messer, there's just a ton of people, Maurice, people who are well known in the industry. And, you know, we started up, as you saw those videos, you know, fax machines, running to get the orders at list services for Mal and Angela, and making sure we got our stuff done, and, you know, pulling apart those, you know, the printing paper of three different colors, you know, so mag tapes, and, you know, charging people $75 for emails, right? The industry has come a long way. I would have never thought that I would be a board member of the Marketing Club of New York. I used to joke back in the day, you know, being at all the events and everything, we got into for 3 years. So here we are, you know, almost 25 years later, and we are on these boards, and we are, you know, the legacy of what this club is. I love this industry. I was told today that I started List Services Direct Now was dead. Who's going to say that's a joke, right? He knows. And I love everybody here. There's a lot of people that I admire. And Vince is also a part of the Thousandaires, but he's well above that now. So, but to Bill McGowan, he's a legend in the industry.
Everyone that spoke before me did great, so we'll kind of keep it as end of the 90 seconds. First, thank you to the board, Chet, everybody for nominating me, the members for voting me through, so thank you very much. Also to I think the college folks that are here, thank you for supporting the club, continue to support it. This is a great venue for you to get to know people and continue the career that we did. This career is one that I did not jump into. Louis, I would love to talk to you. I went to school for architecture. I graduated with a degree. It sounds like you were smarter and got out of it before I did. I went all the way and thought there's going to be some great career at the end of it, but there wasn't. I was at a barbecue and Angela McCluskey was there and she said, "You'd be great. Why don't you come and work for me?" And I was like, "Okay." What could it possibly be? And it was about 6 months into it, and I was like, wait, are we selling names? What is this whole, like, I see the names and the mag tape and all that stuff, and I had gone through it, and it became so much easier than designing steel beams, so I was like, this could actually be something. So I rolled with it, I kept going, and that was 94. So 30 years later, here we are, we're still renting all the names, so thank you. To everybody that's here, thank you for supporting the club. This is a great venue for us to get together, learn about the industry, network, be better. So if you can continue to support the club, that'd be great. That's it.
And for our next honorary, it's my pleasure to call on Starissa Vincent Pietrocross.
All right, here I am. Oh wow, all right, this came on. I was scared, so I'm so sorry you got scared with that. I'm going to be introducing the next honoree. I want to clarify something. The auction is not an evening with me. That would be weird. It is an evening like if you want to do a corporate event or a show or comedy. That's it. Not an evening with me. 25 years ago, maybe, but not now. Anyway, thank you. We're still laughing. We're having fun. I'm going to introduce this next honoree. I had the pleasure of meeting Jamie not only in person, but on a podcast that myself and my CEO host. But it's time to welcome someone who's definitely no stranger to the marketing world. He's a friend, a veteran in this game, and a marketing star alum. I, of course, again, how to plug that. He has done it all from leading as the Chief Marketing Officer over at Lionsgate and Encino to now steering the ship as Vice President of Customer Experience in Corporate Marketing and Marketing Operations at MetLife. That MetLife, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome my friend, Jamie Monticello.
Anybody who knows me knows I can talk for like 8 hours nonstop. But I hate talking about myself, so I actually had to take some notes here. I'm reasonably skeptical of awards. Usually I think it's everybody sitting inside of an echo chamber. But this one's different, because this is, your teammates deciding you should be a captain. So I'm very thankful for Vincent putting my name up, and I don't know what exactly was going on when the members decided that I should go through, but I appreciate whatever substances were involved in that meeting. A couple of quick thank yous. Thank you to the club, my parents who are literally walking contradictions, able to both be part of the system and blow it up all at the same time. Just kind of the definition of my career. My wife, who literally just got off a plane from London, she owed me that because I got off a plane from Tokyo and went to pay for her. But not only do I get bottomless support and love despite all the stupid things that I do, but I keep promising her I won't do another rebrand, and we're on number 4. So one of these days, honey, I promise you won't do this again. There are a bunch of people who believed in me, and I'm just going to list off their names because, I stand on the shoulders of those who brought me up. From Mr. Francis to Condoleezza Rice, who I knew in college, Karen Danley, Eliza Lansman, and Connie Weaver, who actually gave me my first marketing job, and Len Gomez. And of course, again, with Vincent, who was crazy enough to put me up on the stage. I think we work in one of the most exciting functions, actually, in all of corporate America. It's the newest function, right? The newest at the C table, right? Nobody even knows how to account for us. We're still working on industrial age economics and accounting standards, right? It is never static. It's ever changing, and it's more important than ever, right? For quite literally every industry. And I think that's what a cool place that we all get to play in. The music that was playing when I came up was Everyone's a Winner. And you know what I love, one of the things I love most about this industry is it's kind of cooperative. I chose where I went to school because if you skip class, somebody would give you their notes, and then I'm still going to kick your ass on the test. And I feel that's what it's like in this industry, right? We're constantly sharing information and helping each other, whether we're competing or helping out. I think that's something that's both unique and special. And I'm an accidental marketer. I spent the first 2/3 of my career not in it. And when I was in college, I thought I was going to grow up to be Jack Ryan. Secretly, if I knew that they were going to use John Krasinski, I would have stuck with that. My first job out of college was cold calling as a stockbroker. A lot of clarity in an all-commission job with no money in the bank. I was lucky enough when the internet came along to be asked to lead the project to build the first online brokerage for Bank of America in the mid-90s because I was 25 and I knew what the internet was. And then Connie decided that maybe I could be a marketer and handed me the rebrand to TIA, and here I am. So it's been an incredible ride, and really thankful and honored to be amongst all of you and previous winners. I'll give up my 90 seconds. Thank you.
For our next honoree, and our last for the first panel, we're going to hear from Meg Ugenti from Focus USA. There's a few words about her. Jennifer Roberti.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You guys cannot tell that I'm a millennial in the room because I took notes on my phone instead of on a piece of paper. Tonight, we are here to honor some marketing powerhouses. Jennifer Roberti is definitely one of them. She has spent the last 8 years, yes, I read that right, 8 years as CMO with Save the Children and UNICEF, leading large teams in transformative data-driven marketing efforts that have furthered their essential missions. Her exceptional expertise in B2C marketing, loyalty, and direct response has reshaped how nonprofits engage with their audiences, expanding reach both loyal donors and new supporters. Jennifer's strategic leadership has been rooted in deep understanding of consumer behavior. Young people in the room, remember that word. And has set a new benchmark for marketing in the nonprofit sector. Her visionary contributions to data-driven marketing has been a dedication to meaningful change. And please join me in congratulating Jennifer Roberti and welcome.
people who've really had a huge impact on me, and I've been really fortunate. I've had an amazing time and so much fun in my career. And I want to talk about some female leaders who really invested in me and changed my life. I'm going to tell two real quick stories. So 30 years ago, I walked into 285 Madison, former YNR, for an interview, and at the end of the interview, the woman said, you've got the job. And that woman was a woman by the name of Dot Giannoni. She was YNR's longest employee, 53 years, and she passed away recently. I went to her memorial service, and it was such an inspiration to see generations of marketers who had been hired by Dot and nurtured and mentored by Dot. I mean, the impact that she's had in this community and sector is unbelievable. I also found out of the memorial service that she did the same thing to every other candidate. She offered them the job at the interview because I felt like I was really special. I must have been really good to keep the job right there. So, I really want to thank her. Another person that really believed in me, I had actually accepted a job. I was supposed to move to Atlanta and go work at Coke. It was my dream job. Don't ask me what it was, because this was like 20 some odd years ago. I think it was like the title was International Advertising Manager or something. And our CEO at the time, Ann Fudge, came to me and said, I'm getting on a plane tomorrow and I'm flying to South Africa and pitching a piece of business. We're going to win it, and if we do, I will send you there to work on it. And I was like, wow, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm going to South Africa. And but what she said to me, I still share with people when they're making decisions in life. Because what she said to me was, Jen, sometimes you have to open your hands to receive. And I've talked to other people in similar situations where the conversation is very transactional about what do I do next. And I thought, that's a wonderful way to think about it. Like, what am I going to be receiving? What is this opportunity here for me? And one of the pictures is of me with my husband getting his American citizenship. He was an art director at Minor Johannesburg, and we ended up falling in love and getting married. He's now a nurse. He hated marketing, by the way. So, it brought me wonderful experiences, travel, friends, mentors, and I've been really blessed tonight, and I thank you very much.
Here we go. All right. Well, first of all, we've heard such amazing, inspirational stories from all of you. You've all had such a wonderful career. Watched all the interviews. So much to learn from you. It's really hard to figure out how to boil this down in 20 minutes for five of you. So we're going to challenge you a little bit to keep it brief because we want to get through a lot of questions. We have a lot to go through. But the first challenge is if you look at your career and back at your career, if you really remember, name one really pivotal moment that changed the trajectory we're on. Bob, let's start with you.
Thank you. It's always tough to bring it down to one. I'm actually going to siphon it down to two, and I'll do it quickly. The first is I grew up in accounting and finance. I never expected to be in marketing, so I don't know why I'm sitting here. But I got the opportunity 7 or 8 years into my career to do an experimental run in marketing. And I was invited to join the marketing group, and I enjoyed it so much, I decided to put finance and accounting in a rearview mirror. The second came when I was announced to be CEO of the ANA, and I was looking for thoughts and inspiration as to how I needed to conduct myself in this magnificent position. And so I sought out the advice of an icon, which is David Bell, who was the chair and CEO of IPG. And David said to me, he said, look, I'm only going to give you one piece of advice. He says, if you follow it, I think you're going to be okay. And I said, sure, what's that? He said, open your effing mouth. I did, and here I am. So that was a breakthrough moment.
Love it, love it. All right, anyone else want to jump in on this one?
I'll say, and very similar to Bob, when I was in college, I was a business, finance, poli-sci major. Never thought I would be in marketing at all, especially event marketing. My moment, defining moment, I should say, is when I left a conference company that I worked here in New York and came to the DMA. The moment when I actually went from doing conferences for a few hundred to events for a few thousand, and partnerships that I developed over the course of my run there, that first 2 years, that was a defining moment. That's when I realized this is the industry I belong in, this is the market that I can make an impact. And as a storyteller, because that's what I am, I consider myself a storyteller that engages the public, that engages people. That was a defining moment when I left the conference, small conference space, and came to the industry.
For me, it was probably, and I don't know anybody else that went through this, but when you get fired from a job, it is one of the most destructive journeys you can go on. You beat yourself up harder than you should. You fight as fast as you can to get the next job. Sometimes it's a long road. But when you get on that path to get to the next job, you learn about your worth. I think what was right and wrong about that last position. I would probably spend a little more time enjoying that time off because you're so busy trying to get that next job that you don't really enjoy the time off. Between those two positions, Bob Castle, I was working at Unimel. He sold the company. I was anyways, I was let go from that job. I worked for Joanne Bethel, or Joanne Dunn, I should say. And during that stint, Bob Castle reached out to me. He used to own the company. And he said, I'd like you to go on this job. You're perfect for it. I said, I'm kind of happy. He's like, I don't care. I want to go on. And I went on the job to make him happy. But when I heard what they had to say, I took the job and it was incredible. So it's really about, I think, learning about yourself, learning about what people are able to give to you. And those are kind of the experiences that we learn along the way, that take chances, and not every mistake or bad experience is one that will jeopardize you for the rest of your life.
Sure, I got two. I'll take something Bob said, brave. Although I think in each of these cases, I think I was more naive than brave. But in retrospect, I was very brave. As I mentioned, I had the fortune of being on the internet very early, and I ended up forced to research in the heyday. And the very, very first client that I got invited to advise was part of a dual analyst session with Ford. We went in up to Dearborn and we sat down with Ford e-commerce people and the Ford credit e-commerce people. And 8 hours later, their strategy was 180 degrees from what it was when we went in. And we get to the Detroit airport, and I have an incredible moment of panic as we're getting ready to board the plane. And the colleague looks at me and goes, "What's wrong?" I go, "We just changed the direction of one of the largest automakers in the world." He goes, "Yeah." I go, "I hope we're right. I'm 27. Why are they listening to me?" And similarly, there was a point we were at a sort of a bunch of politics inside the TIA. And my boss asked me to help design an org to present some stuff, and I did it without my name in a box. And she looks at me and she says, "Well, where are you?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not there. Just package me out. I'll go find another job." And she says, "No, you have to be on the show." And I'm like, "Well, there's no space for me." "Well, where would you want to go?" "Well, I go there." "Well, don't make me choose between you and Steve." "I'm not making you choose between me and Steve. There's no seat here." Ultimately, I wanted Steve since he didn't have a job. That's how I became a marketer. So, take yourself off the sheet. sometimes that helps. But those are two really pivotal moments of kind of leaning in. Maybe I was too naive to question, but those are the big reflections.
Jennifer? I guess one of the defining moments for me was, working on Madison Avenue. I was lucky to work on the agency side. I worked on great brands, Sony, Advil, and all, a lot of really household names have been around for hundreds of years. It was so much fun to be a part of building a brand that was brand new, and which was MCNY when I ended up in South Africa. And you see how that impacts the way people live their life, access to connectivity. So their ability to communicate. I always share this stat, I think Nigeria had 40,000 landlines in 1994, and it's a country, how many people? It's 200 million? Yeah. So you can imagine, if we were talking about going back in time, you don't have a cell phone, you don't have a landline, you don't have a bank, there are no bank branches. I don't have access to a doctor. And so for me, seeing the impact that mobile had on the continent, and seeing people wait in line for hours and hours for a SIM card, because you have to wait for the government to unlock numbers so you could release more SIM cards, was amazing. And we had this brilliant chief marketing officer at MTN Nigeria. His name was Bola, and I'm not forgetting his name, it was a while ago, but he said something to me once after the 2010 World Cup. He said, people here don't expect a lot of service delivery for their governments, from the government, so they expect companies like MTN to deliver things like the World Cup, and it made me realize how important what we were doing was, and I think it kind of led me into, thinking about how to use marketing to drive social impact. But you can be in the public sector, you can be in the private sector, you can be at a not-for-profit, and you can find ways to make an impact on people no matter where you are.
So we've talked a lot about tonight about how it's 40th year and the celebration of 40 years of Silver Apples. I would love for each of you to just give me a quick reflection of when you look back at 40 years, what has been the most transformative component of marketing over your career? Jennifer, we'll start with you.
What's been the most
transformative moment in marketing?
Well, I'm trying to come up with another. That was a pretty transformative moment. Let's try to come up with another one. I think probably, again, going back to it, I think COVID in some ways was really another big transformational moment for all of us, for a lot of us. I don't know that it was the biggest one in my career, but in the last 40 years, I think, I'm sure everyone can relate to, especially in our sector, and thinking about fundraising, is all of a sudden some of your biggest channels just completely go away. There's no more canvassing, there's no more face-to-face. We don't know what the economy is going to be like. People are at home. So, I think it really forced us to be innovative. I think all of us remember that week in March was a Wednesday. We all got called, the schools are now closed. So it was oh my goodness, we got on a phone call on Wednesday night, Thursday morning, not thinking it was going to be a couple of weeks. We'll be back in the office together. And we're really, at Save the Children, they're really lucky to have an amazing ambassador, Jennifer Garner. She will phone you and text you, if there's an emergency, to know what she really is what you think she's like. She's lovely. And she's like, we gotta do something. So by Monday morning, we launched Save the Stories, where we, on Instagram, where we had every celebrity you could think of use their platform to read stories for children and for adults to keep people occupied and raise money for kids in areas where schools were closed, there were lack of educational supplies, and they're not getting nutrition if they're not at school. So just as on a dime, your whole world can change, and what are you going to how do you react to that? And I think that was a huge moment for all of us, right?
So I think one of the most transformative periods is technology over the past 10, 15 years. And what I mean by that is, AI has been around for a while, right? But it started out as artificial intelligence and how we're using artificial intelligence to manage tasks, to now generative AI, which is how we develop content, right? And that is the $64,000 question, is how we utilize AI in a responsible manner to not stifle business, to not stifle opportunities, but to protect our customers and clients. At American Express Global Business Travel, we have hired a VP for generative AI to look further into this and how we can utilize generative AI to further assist our customers from a meetings and events perspective, but also from a travel management perspective, from generating content that our clients and customers need to utilize. I think that is going to continue to be a transformative period that will probably carry on for several years. But I think from a marketing perspective is how we are being responsible stewards, managing that and dealing with our clients and customers.
Great, I love that. Anybody else on what's changed over their career?
I'd like to build on what Paul said, because I do think technology has been remarkably transformative for what we do. But I'll take it in a different direction. If you think about where we were probably in 2010, 4, the industry was essentially television, radio, and print. After that, it became digital and social media, now generative AI and other technologies. So what it's done is essentially changed the landscape from being mass marketing to a mass audience, to having the ability to reach a targeted consumer. And Paul used the words responsible marketing, which is critical, but it's also something that's very important in the way we manage ourselves in our respective industry. Because as much as a blessing as digital and social media has been to help us be able to zero in on one-to-one kind of marketing, it's also transformed the way we do business. And the digital media supply chain has essentially become opaque. Our ability to understand how best to leverage that digital media supply chain has certainly given marketers a significant challenge in how to be able to understand how we can take advantage of it and truly and responsibly be able to reach those consumers. So on one hand, we have better tools. On the other hand, we have to figure out how to overcome the deficiencies in the digital social marketing transformation agenda, as well as to respect the privacy of consumers. And finding that right balance is something that is one of the major challenges of our industry today.
One of the, you had asked kind of what was the pivotal moment. I don't think it's one moment. I think it's happening so fast now. You almost can't keep up with it. When I worked at List Services, they had, and this, probably the students that are here will laugh at this, but they had built out email. Remember that? Before it was fax machines and all of those types of ways of communications. They said next week we're going to have email. And when email came out, they said, all right, you're able to email people. So I was emailing people in the room because I wanted to watch stuff, open it. Which was, I mean, you have to understand, you could never do that before. So now you're emailing somebody, you can watch them open it, experience it, see it, watch it. You think about, all right, was that the moment? But I think now things are happening so fast. People are stealing cars today, not for the vehicle itself, but the data that's in it. They're stealing your cars because while you're at work, that car is able to drive right back to your house, open the garage, and and get into the house and rob it. And those are the things where, you have to be very careful with collecting and capturing and all these other things. And that's what we do. That's one of the things that the club does, is what's the best way to be stewards of the data that we are meant to be, conscious of what we're doing, which was, originally creating a device on the phone that actually connects to the car, that's able to get to the house without it being something that, comes back and wants the person. So I think it's many things and many more things now.
And I feel compelled to end on a more positive note. Sort of, there are moments of some of these things, right? And I'll preface it by saying, I work for a CMO who's a couple years of the job, and he set the tenor as we're sort of transforming marketing in that life, that we will, the whole organization will be geared towards measurable and meaningful outcomes. And if you think about this industry, it's direct mail, you can't really measure it. And let's face it, we still struggle with measurement. But digital was the beginning of where we can actually measure all of our activities. And that starts to change the nature of the discussions now, with finance, with demonstration, that I think really comes to life now. COVID, I like to describe it as it was the greatest A/B test ever, because we took away physicality, right? And we took away geography, put everybody behind a two-dimensional screen, and suddenly everything that anybody in here had ever been saying about digital now was real. No more 20 years of evangelizing. Now this is now the way forward into the digital first world. And so, I think of the internet, certainly the AI now, these are going to be the greatest inflection sort of changers. Our jobs are going to change. The work we do will change more in the next 3 years than probably in the last 20. In some not awesome ways, but in some great ways. And I'll just leave you with this. You might recall, millennials will not, but when Google launched sort of access to fair information, 99, 2000, all of us declared the death of the travel agent. There were 200,000 travel agents in the year 2000. There are 600,000 travel agents today. Now they make 5% of their revenue from ticket fees, and it was 95% of their revenue in 2000. So what it means to be a travel agent is different, but access to travel expanded the pool and just changed the way people make money, and that's really what AI presents to us, whether it's the personalization or so many of the things that we've been talking about for so long are now actually finally about to be possible.
Love that. What's interesting is so many of you answered with something that's changed in the past, but also is changing at the moment. And I think Bill, you mentioned right where it's changing so fast, it's not even one single moment. So just real quick lightning round. Let's flip the conversation. And what do you think is one thing? Really quick, single word answer, couple word answer, maybe a couple words. What are you most excited about looking forward?
Students that are out here, because they are going to be the change that will continue to evolve this industry. They're the ones who are the leading edge of technology. They're the ones who are going to be the real storytellers once we're all on. The students that are out here, that was
like 50 words and all that.
I know.
Bob?
Focus on our outcomes. I think we've really gotten to the point where we've lost sight of focusing in on what the end result is and more on the process of moving to an outcome-based industry.
Probably more of AI and what that would be able to do for improving the experience and taking the guesswork out of how to get there.
I think, we're now officially in a digital-first universe, and I think that means that marketing is in the driver's seat as a function for maybe the first time. We're the only function that is customer marketed, and you can't function in this universe without being
I would like to build on that. I would driving growth and having a seat at the table on the organization strategy, because we are the customer, the supporter. We are, if you're thinking outside in, you're really driving that insight.
Perfect. Okay, so now I'm gonna flip the conversation for just a minute. You know, one of the things that's core to targeting of New York is really the component of giving back. And when we look at all the potential honorees, one of the big things, there's so many people with inspiring careers and wonderful things that they're doing. But the biggest thing we look at before we make a final decision is what have they done to give back and what have they done for the industry. So I would love to just go around and hear a little bit about what giving back really means to each of you. Jamie, you want to kick us off?
Sure, but I didn't know to go first. So I was a child of two hippies. My middle name is Peace, which is almost my first name, which is a great story afterwards if you want to hear that. But I tell you that just because I needed a lot of guidance. I had no idea how the world worked or what marketing was or anything. And my wife would say I need a lot of supervision. But without the generosity and care of an awful lot of people who decided to invest time in me, to decide I was worth investing time, even if I didn't know that myself, I couldn't be here. So for me, I look at that, you know, so I've got a debt to pay, and I've got a lot of paying forward to do. So that's kind of how I think about it. I mean, it's easy to, I know how hard I've worked and you know how much I've strived, but without all of that, it's just a lot of striving.
Bill?
For me, I think giving back is not only, I think, supporting the club like we're doing tonight, but also working with for events like the privacy event, creating things that people can take part in, learn from, experience, networking, supporting the new members that are coming in, that will be the president of the future club. Those are all really important things to do.
Jennifer?
Gosh, well, I think for me, you know, marketing, if done well, has a point of view, and I know you want to appeal to everyone, but I think really it's so important to have a point of view and a perspective on what's going on in the world around you. And I think for me, I've really been lucky to be able to work for two organizations where it was really about giving, let's remember, kids cannot vote, okay? So it's important to understand where it's the hardest to be a child, whether here in the US or elsewhere, and how are we making decisions that, you know, that address that. And a lot of companies and businesses do that every day, and I think it's, for me, that's a great way to think about giving back as a marketer.
Yeah, I think it's representative of who we have in this room when it's developing the next generation of talent. We have a debt to pay to that generation in making them proficient, making them capable, helping to understand the nuances of how to affect our consumers and customers, how to think strategically, how to be leaders. And there's so much that's in this room that we can bring to that next generation of talent. And I think the focus on developing those next generation of leaders is critical as we hand the baton off accordingly.
And I'll end it real quick and real simple. To have a conversation with the younger generations, the students that are here, such as the Bruce, the Pegs, the Rubes, the Lou's, the Chets, the Nicks, who've had those conversations with me, to teach me about the industry, to teach me about how to succeed, the basic life lessons.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to build on that. I'm going to challenge you one more time for a lightning round. So let's see if we can do better this time. Give me one name or one person who's inspired you in your career. Bill, you want to go first?
I'll go first, but it won't be 1 year now. The reason being is I think this is a good example of everybody in this room and to the support of everybody. I think each person sort of inspires you, is able to help you get through, the trauma of what we do every single day. You learn about how to deal with a call, a presentation, a call. There are a million people to thank. And I think a lot of them are here today.
Jamie, you want to try one name?
I don't know, there's so many ways to answer this question. All right, I'm going to get this straight. Clay Christensen. I think if there's anybody who has framed the existential challenge, not only for our companies, but actually for us as human beings, it's the guy who said you got to blow yourself up and reinvent and change faster. And here's all the reasons why you want to. It's right for yourself and it's logical. So I can't think of any better way to manage your career right now.
Love that. Jennifer? I'm going to say my dad. My dad is 78 years old. He still works full time, says he will never retire. And his mantra is love what you do and love who you do. And then he says it to me all the time. And he actually was writing an ad copy when I was born. He tells me she's not at Parker, this is back in the day. But it's nice. We talked about young people and how it's changing. It inspires me that he still loves to read. He will go to any meeting, and he really enjoys it, working still, and I think that's great.
Actually, early in my career, I heard a speech by Bill Gates, who says the pathway to growth and progress is through curiosity. If you're not curious, you won't be able to change. If you don't change and evolve, you're done.
One individual that transcends industries, Magic Johnson, one of the most successful minority business owners in the world.
Covering, so this is going to be our final question, another lightning round. What are your parting words of wisdom for everybody in the room? Bill, you want to kick us off?
Take chances. I took jobs that I thought I was going to hate, fell in love with them. I took jobs that I loved, and they turned out to be total nightmares, but I learned something from every single one of them. If you're in your 20s, do your job hopping. If you're in your 30s, go for the salary. In the 40s, go for your experience. 50s, name your ticket.
I don't know, that's going to combine two thoughts. The quote often ascribed to Darwin, but it wasn't actually his, right? It's not the smartest and the strongest of the species that survive, but the most adaptable. I think paired with my favorite quote from William Gibson, the future's already here, just unevenly distributed. Right? We're in such a unique time to be looking at the future and changing and such exciting stuff if you're done.
Less is more. I think as marketers, we're sometimes, inclined to make more things, make more changes, new campaigns, taglines, whatever. Just make less and make it more effective. So important. Bob?
Where I started my conversation, which was be brave, be courageous, make the decisions that are
Service in Churchill, never.
Love it. So many amazing words, such an inspirational group here. Thank you guys all, and again, congratulations.
Great dinner, and we're going to start our next round of panel introductions and honorary introductions, probably in about